It's like I'm excited to get people to learn about hunting, because if we don't have people hunting, the government will take it away. One of the last things that they can't touch for firearms in Canada is hunting. So the reasons why you never got around to it was,
Which
um,
is a stupid reason. I
the
should just
well,
probably do the
well,
tests
see,
and
I had
everything.
all of these conversations. Like if you said it's because of time, like oh I didn't have the time, or so I'll address all of them. But so the law one is basically like not to be dick, but it's basically just like Google.
Well, yeah, it's just that's what I'm saying. It's a stupid reason. You just have to do it. I just
But no, because there is, so it's hard too. It is hard because I remember it took me a long time to find out Crown land. Like it was hard to find stuff. But then that app I like, so
I hunt.
I
I
Hunter
X.
Ontario,
Yep.
and then there's one for every province. It will tell you. It not only tells you like the areas you can go.
It's
It'll tell
yeah,
you
super
what you
easy
can
to hunt
use.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So that's like, so if it was laws for people,
It's probably a
moving.
multitude of things.
Well, and
Just
then
not the biggest reason is that
my beard.
probably my dad like didn't do it when I was a child. So like
Yeah,
you kind of have to grow in it. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit harder to get
it
into.
yeah, true. Because
Which
so
is
my dad took me hunting once when I was little, and I think that's it for
yeah.
all my hunting experience until I started going out myself.
So we went fishing quite a bit, and then kind of stopped too. But that was like an easier thing.
Yeah, and so I went fishing last weekend with my brother, and he was getting angry because we had no luck, and like, so he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna go research and figure out everything there is to know about fishing, and then I'll go." And I was like, "Hey, Zach, you know what I knew the first time I went hunting? Like, what? Absolutely nothing. I knew the legal stuff, and that's it. I learned everything I know about hunting by going out and seeing what works, and what doesn't work, and listening to other hunters, like going on, like, so now we live in technology time, right? Like, or technical age or whatever the heck. I'm such a hick. Anyway,
I mean,
um,
your gun is a technology thing too.
um, where you can just go online and talk to people who've gone hunting or supposedly gone hunting, and they can give you information. But for me, it's just, and I don't know what it is, but I find older hunters are like, when you ask them questions, they seem kind of annoyed, but I don't
Well, a
care.
hunter doesn't want to take away, doesn't want you to know his spot or something. Isn't that a
Well,
thing?
yeah, that's a thing, but also, but with everything else, like I'm excited to get people to learn about hunting, because if we don't have people hunting, the government will take it away. One of the last things that they can't touch for firearms in Canada is hunting. There's
But I have
still,
my bare hands. I can make things, and if there's geese around, like on a field, if I need food,
but that's illegal.
but if I need food, I'll
Yeah, you're
feed
not
my
gonna care.
family.
Yeah,
So
and
I think that's
I'm
another
pretty
reason
sure
why.
the state would probably care more, like, or care less if you were chopping goose heads off and eating their meat than, raiding a grocery store. I want to get more people hunting,
Oh, okay.
especially now with the prices of meat and stuff. So unfortunately, in Canada, you have to go through a bunch of. You have to get three different licenses, license, licenses.
Licensees.
Um, and you have to go through a course. So you do your hunter's course. You have to get your outdoors card, your small games card, and then, sorry, you need to get those two cards before you can get any tags. That's the third thing. So turkeys are a tag, deer, uh, ducks and geese is a stamp, which you can get all this on your phone now, so that makes it a bit easier. See, that's one hurdle that will be easier to get through now. You can do all of this in one spot after you do your hunter's course online. I forget the website. I'll get Vitaly to link it later. But you can get all of that stuff in one stop. So it's learning the legal stuff, which the hunter course will go through the most important legal stuff. Um, and then after that, it's literally, like I said, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. You can watch YouTube videos. I used to get the hunting magazines, because some gun clubs where you do the hunter course, they'll actually sign you up if you want for, or I think it's like free for the first year, but you get, like, forget the name of it, but it's like these hunting magazines once a month. They've got tons of information. But the biggest thing is finding out what works and what doesn't work. And the reason why I started with duck hunting is because it was the easiest one to get into it by yourself. Like, if you're gonna go deer hunting, you're gonna need people. Moose hunting, you're absolutely gonna need people. Um, there's probably some like giga chat on the internet being like, "I hunt moose by myself every year," and I'm like, whatever, dude.
Here's the thing. I don't think hunting still requires money. So like if you want to just hunt because of the idea of to save money,
Well, here's the thing:
I don't think
when
it
when our country inevitably collapses and we're in our real dystopian nightmare, guess what? No one's going to be checking if you're hunting with a license, and you're going to need to
Well,
feed your
that
family.
that's where I was going to. That was my point. Like, why do I need to do all this course? If I right now have a job, it's actually less expensive to not hunt.
Mhm.
If you count like the gas and how far you have to go and like the time spent sitting like this waiting for a duck.
But this is like therapy.
Yes, so that's the thing. It's not just about that. If we want to talk about hunting, we need to talk about the whole thing. That it is good to go outdoors and spend that time with friends or by yourself without a phone. Like there's that aspect to it, not just about saving money and feeding your family. There has to be like because like yeah, like if we want to record about hunting here, I think we need to like talk truthfully about the whole picture.
Hmm. Like
Is that
even,
and
well,
then
yeah,
if
it's
you want
not
to get
easy.
more
Even duck hunting. When I say it's easy, I mean like it's easy to learn the stuff. It's not easy. Like the beginning of this video, you see me taking the boat down by myself. That's not easy. This is a heavy boat, and getting it in the water, getting out here. It's unbelievably hot for October 4th right now. It is exhausting, but it's worth it.
yeah, because it's like a skill that has been around in our genes forever, and to just simply remove it is probably not good for our body and mind.
I hear movement, not the airplane either. I hear ducks. But anyway, um,
And then if you want to get more meat, which will save you money, you have to
healthier
travel far.
healthier meat. You can
Healthier
guarantee
meat,
the animals you hunt are not being full of hormones and steroids
but
and
that
all the
means you
other
have to
garbage.
be away from work, and you have to like it's hard. It's a
But
hard thing to decide on.
on a successful, like that's the other thing, is sometimes like a lot of the times you're not successful, and but on a successful hunt you get enough meat to last a long time. Like if I think the daily limit for geese, I could be wrong, so check me, but is 6 geese, right? Geese have a
Mhm.
lot of meat, and that's
Yep.
one day 6 geese. And then deer, like that's enough meat to last you a year. Moose, that's more than enough to last a year.
It probably comes back also to like having a community of like neighbors who hunt and are willing to take you out and teach you a little
Mhm.
bit. Starting from like fishing, and maybe that's what like is missing probably. Because if you don't have money, but you have a neighbor who does go, and you just jump in their car and learn and go and like bring home some meat, a leg of a deer,
A quarter.
yeah,
Yeah.
something,
No, a quarter of a deer is
you learn
tons.
a lot. You do get to bring meat home, and maybe that does exist. I'm just not aware too much.
So the
If that's
other,
what you want to do, you want to bring people to hunting.
yeah, I want to go. I
So
want to go moose hunting. I already have an area that we can go. I got 3 guys, or I'm including myself in that. So I got 2 guys that are definitely want to go. You're one of them, right? You definitely want to go.
yeah,
Okay. And but the only thing is like it's gonna be like a 2 day. It's up 4 hours away, but we won't come back until we get something because we got to make it worth it. And so yeah, the other obstacle was time. And I'm gonna be really cliche with this one. This one's gonna sound like the typical like David Goggins video, but like if you're waiting to have the time to go learn how to hunt, it's like with anything you want to do, any hobby or anything you want to get into, the time's not just gonna present itself. You have to make the time. For years, like even going out now, I'm always thinking like, well, when I have the time, I'll go duck hunting. It's like I never have the time. I have to make the time, even if it means finishing a job like I did today, and like short notice calling a friend like, hey, do you want to go? I guess it wasn't that short notice. It was yesterday. I asked you, but like, you want to go duck hunting? Even though it kind of turned into, well, let's do our podcast. We haven't done it in a while. But see, I'm making the time. I did my job first. I'm doing my podcast, and I don't like. I'm not in my camo. I don't have my decoys. The sun's directly. Actually, we're pretty positioned well with the sun. That's the thing with ducks. You want to have your back to the sun and be like camouflaged because
how's
they
their hearing? Pretty
probably
good.
really well. Yeah, and you're saying that because I'm extremely loud.
Oh no, we're just recording a podcast. I wonder, but yeah,
So I just want to address somebody that like that's thinking like, oh, I want to try this. I want to, but there's like, what would hold that person back? I'm just trying to remember because I've been hunting for a while now, like 7 years, and I'm just trying to remember all the things that held me back because I got past every single one of them. It's like, okay, well, I don't have a gun. Well, I got my gun license, and there's also, if you don't like guns, there's bow hunting, which opens up the season a lot more for you. There's more benefits to bow hunting technically. It's a lot easier. Oh, sorry.
That's harder, but you have
It's
more
easier
time.
in the legal sense,
Yeah.
way harder in the skill sense. But like there's trade-offs, right?
I think it's just grocery stores. It's just too we're
It's too easy to just go get
too
your meat.
yeah.
But all yeah.
That's why it has to be like
But like so
you
for
hunters need to
a
like
lot
you guys need to talk about like the bigger picture,
well
how
for
it's good
me
for you, the outdoors.
hunting and farming, like I want to start raising and growing like my own meat too. For me the biggest motivator, I know it's not a motivator for a lot of people, but the health. Did we cover everything with hunting? I feel like I didn't. I feel because like that's the
That's the
problem with
thing. It's
jumping.
never gonna be just one video and it'll cover everything. It's hunting is like life, probably.
Mhm.
You're just constantly gonna.
Well,
The best thing to do is actually just make videos of hunting,
yeah, well, that's what I've been starting to do. Like
and then it shows your character joking around.
turkey hunting starting soon.
Okay, yeah, it just that's what we need to do.
See,
Hunting videos of doing it. That's how people will get into it, not just us talking about
I have no
necessarily.
problem putting up my hunting videos because I'm still learning. I'm self-taught, so I'm kind of actually hoping for those jerks on YouTube that see you do something wrong and they can't wait to jump on it and tell you that you're doing something wrong.
I think
Because like I'll learn from it.
I think there's just that fact needs to be embraced. To just like I'm here doing my best. That's it.
Yeah. But see, also I also noticed that when you put a video up of you doing something that's new and you're just like, hey, I don't know how to do this, but here's me trying to figure it out. People who
Yeah,
will correct you in nice ways.
because I
It's when you act like you know what you're doing and you don't. That's where I left off. I was talking, okay, so guns, didn't have a gun, so I got my gun firearms license, got a gun, and then it was finding areas to go. That was a big thing, and then things like apps help. Um, see, this is the other thing. Community helps.
does.
See, I moved here and didn't know anybody, so it took me a long time to find areas I can go because I didn't have anybody to talk to and ask. I didn't know anybody who had their own land to hunt on. Like that's the other thing. You can find out people. Sorry, make friends with people. You can make friends with people who have land that you can hunt on that they don't like they don't hunt. Unfortunately, hunting is becoming less and less common and popular. Like it's even in this area, which is so weird. But there's people with tons of farm acreage that don't hunt.
Some farmers rent their like you can pay them to hunt on their property,
Yeah,
right?
and some of them will like I know some areas they'll actually pay you to get rid of coyotes because coyotes are such a detriment and
What about
wolves.
wild boars? What do you know about wild boars around the area?
So in this area, there's none in this area. They're more out west. I've been looking into that because
Out
I
west,
would
as in like Alberta out west, or
yeah.
like Ontario west?
So northwestern Ontario, you have to travel. But I want to the reason why my eyes were on Alberta is because I've been hearing that you can get paid to hunt them there. I have a few friends out in Alberta that I was like, bro, give me some information. This part's fun for me. Like you can figure it out by just going on YouTube and learning stuff, but like going out and figuring out what works and what doesn't work yourself is fun for me. Some people may not want to spend that time because there'll be a lot of unsuccessful hunts. Um, like I haven't got a turkey yet. Oh, there's so much noise over there. There's definitely some
I think it's just
birds over
water
there.
bubbling that stream.
Oh, the best time to go duck hunting is sunrise and
Sunset.
sunset.
Yeah, that makes sense. We always keep seeing them like fly over
Yeah,
our house like at those times.
those are the best times. I think that's
That's what you
generally the
do.
best time for most animals or most birds at least.